What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we're going to talk about this Monday night NFL matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, so the Hard Bowl will be kicked off at 8:15 p.m. East Coast time, Inglewood, California. The odds are Baltimore by 3. Over-under right now is at 51. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and let's take a quick look into this matchup, right? So, the Los Angeles Chargers are 7-3 this year after defeating the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 34-27 in their last game. Los Angeles held Cincinnati to 2 field goals in the first half, and they jumped out to a 27-6 lead in the third quarter. But they needed a late touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins to get the win. All right, so the Chargers were outgained by a total of 452 to 435 yards, lost the turnover battle 1-0, and went 3 for 11 on third down in the game. Justin Herbert threw for 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, while Ladd McConkey, he caught 6 passes for 123 yards in the win. Prior to that game, the Chargers won 3 games in a row against the Titans, Browns, and Saints. LA offense scored 22 points per game on 204.8 yards passing and 121.6 rushing yards per game in that streak. All right, so let's get over to Baltimore. Baltimore Ravens are 7-4 this season after they lost to Pittsburgh by a score of 18-16 in their last game. Baltimore kept Pittsburgh out of the end zone for the full game, but they did allow 6 field goals and couldn't convert on a 2-point conversion to tie the game late. The Ravens outgained Pittsburgh by a total of 329 to 303 yards, lost the turnover battle 3-1, and went 4 for 11 on third down in the game. Lamar Jackson threw for 207 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, while Derrick Henry rushed for 65 yards and 1 score. All right, so looking over at the injury report for these two teams right now, we already know Deontay Hardy, he's questionable with the knee. Of course, Nick Samak, he's questionable with the leg. Kyle Hamilton, he's still questionable with the ankle, even though he did play in the last game. Don't know if he'll be out for this next game or not. And as far as for the Chargers, Khalil Mack, he's still questionable with that groin injury. Remains to be seen if he'll suit up against the Ravens on Monday. Denzel Perryman, linebacker, he's questionable, dealing with that groin injury as well. And DJ Chark, the wide receiver, he's still questionable with the hip injury. He's been placed on IR list, but it's yet to be established if he'll be active in this game on Monday. Asante Samuel Jr. is still also out with the shoulder injury, and so is Brandon Rice. All right, so looking at what these two teams have been doing out here on the field. Okay, the Baltimore Ravens are averaging 30.4 points per game. That's the number 2 offense in the NFL versus the LA Chargers, who are actually the number 1 defense in the NFL, only giving up 14.5 points per game, guys. All right, that's stifling defense, man. They really are. They really biting out there right now. I give it to them. They ain't played everybody, but they biting out there right now. Okay, as far as yards per play, Baltimore is also number 1 in that. They get 7.0 yards per play, whereas the Chargers, they only allow 5 yards of play. So that's 9th in the NFL. On third down, you got the number 3 offense versus the number 2 defense, man. Baltimore offense converts third down 46.15% of the time, whereas the Chargers only allow you to convert 32.33% of the time. Second best defense against third down in the NFL. What about the red zone? Well, once again, it's number 1 versus number 2. Baltimore has the number 1 red zone offense. They score 77.78% of the time. They score a touchdown that they get down there. They check that box. Thing is, Chargers only allow you to score a touchdown 40.91% of the time. That's the second best defense in the NFL in the red zone. Chargers also have the number 1 defense as far as touchdowns allowed per game. They only allow 1.5 touchdowns a game, and they're going against the number 2 offense. Baltimore, they get 3.7 touchdowns a game. So rubber meets the road this game, guys. It's really going to be a grind out game, really a hard bowl. You know what I mean? Definitely what you would anticipate when the Harbaugh brothers get out there on the field. All right, so what about the Chargers offense? Chargers offense been middle of the pack. They only score 22 points per game. That's 18th best in the NFL, but they're going against the Baltimore defense, who ain't that good right now. They give up 24.6 points per game. They also give up 5.5 yards per play. That's 19th in the NFL. Thing is, Chargers only get 5.5 yards per play. That's 15th in the NFL. What about third down? Third down, Chargers still middle of the pack. Only 38.81% of the time do they convert their third downs, whereas Baltimore allows you to convert 44.37% of the time. So that is the number 15 offense versus the number 28 defense on third down, guys. Definitely advantage Chargers there. All right, what about red zone? Well, thing is, Chargers only score a touchdown 53.85% of the time that they reach the red zone, whereas Baltimore, they allow you to score a touchdown 52.78% of the time. That's 13th in the NFL. They also give up 2.6 touchdowns a game. That's 22nd in the NFL, going against the 19th best offense in the NFL, who gets 2.3 touchdowns a game. So will Baltimore be able to run the ball? Yes. Okay, because the Chargers defense they give up 4.7 yards per rush. All right, that's 23rd in the NFL. And they're going against the number 1 running offense in the NFL. They get 5.8 yards per carry, 177.3 yards a game. That's second best in the NFL. And they get 1.4 touchdowns on the ground per game. That's fifth best in the NFL. Going against the Chargers defense that gives up 110.5 yards per game. That's 11th in the NFL. But they only give up 0.3 touchdowns a game on the ground. They are the number 1 defense against rushing touchdowns in the NFL. So definitely it gives them an opportunity to be able to hold this Baltimore team down. But then again, you still got to factor in Lamar Jackson. All right, so what about the Chargers? Will they be able to run the ball? No. Baltimore's number 1 defense against the run in the NFL. They only give up 3.4 yards a carry, 77.5 yards a game, which is second best in the NFL, and only 0.6 touchdowns a game on the ground. That's seventh best in the NFL. And they're going against Chargers, who we think they run the ball, but they really don't. They only get 4.2 yards a carry. That's 20th in the NFL, and 121.6 yards a game. That's 12th best in the NFL. What they do, though, is eat that clock up. All right, that's the one thing that Chargers do, is eat that clock up. And that could be pivotal. That can mean a lot in this game, guys. It could definitely mean a lot in this game. So let's go ahead and let's look at the pass. When you're looking at the pass right now, Baltimore, they are second best in the NFL. They get 8.9 yards per pass versus the Chargers defense, who only gives up 6.6 yards per pass. That's the sixth best in the NFL. All right, now when you look over here at how many times they get to the quarterback? Well, Chargers to get to the quarterback, they get 9.9% of the time they sack that quarterback. That's fourth best in the NFL. But they're going against a Baltimore offense that really doesn't give up too many sacks. They only get sacked 4.45% of the time. That's third best in the NFL. What about on the offense? How are the Chargers going to do? Well, they're the 8th best passing offense in the NFL as far as yards per pass, getting 7.9, and they're going against the 28th worst, which is Baltimore, giving up 7.7 yards per pass. Chargers also give up the sack too. They get sacked 8.52% of the time. That's 24th in the NFL. And Baltimore gets the quarterback 7.46% of the time. That's 14th in the NFL, guys. All right, so when you look at these two teams and you see how they've been playing the last 3 times they've been out here, you're talking about a Chargers team that's averaging 29.3 points per game and only giving up 18 points per game, guys. And a Baltimore team that's averaging 30.7 points per game and only giving up 20.7. Now, in this current situation on the road, Baltimore scores 28.3 and gives up 28, whereas the Chargers, they only score 23.8 and they give up 15.8 points. So definitely a slight advantage to the Chargers as far as consistency, defense showing up on both sides, this and that and the third, when you're talking about in this current situation. But we also are dealing with two brothers that know each other well, very, very well. Matter of fact, they done played each other in a Super Bowl already. All right. So on the season, Baltimore Ravens are 5-5-1 against the spread, and Chargers are 7-3 against the spread. Now on the road, Baltimore's 3-3 against the spread, and Chargers at home are 4-1. As away favorites, Baltimore are 3-2 against the spread, and as a home underdog, the Chargers are 0-1. So the one time that they've been a home underdog, they did not cover. Okay, now as far as straight up, as a home underdog, they didn't win either. And on the road, Baltimore is an away favorite. They're 3-2 straight up. So yeah, Chargers, when they're dog, Vegas is telling you something. Okay, now over and under. Over under's been 9 to the over, 2 to the under for Baltimore, whereas 3 to the over and 7 to the under for Chargers. At home, Chargers are 2 to the over, 3 to the under, and on the road, Baltimore's 5 to the over, 1 to the under. Now, as a away favorite, Baltimore is 4 to the over, 1 to the under, with that 1 under being last week. And the Chargers, as a home underdog, that game went under, guys. All right, so looking at all that, understanding what's been going on, guys, let's also take a quick look at who the next 3 games these two teams are playing. So Baltimore's got Philly coming up, Giants, and then Pittsburgh, whereas the Chargers got Atlanta, Kansas City, and Tampa coming up, right? So Baltimore, man, in their last 3, okay, they're not looking good. They are on a 1-game losing streak straight up, but are on 2-game losing streak against the spread. They did not cover against Cincinnati, did not cover against the Pittsburgh. Did not cover against Pittsburgh. Before the Pittsburgh game, they were on a 6-game over streak. Now they finally come across their first under, guys. Not sure what to read out of that outside of the fact that they've been giving up a lot of points and doing a lot of scoring. All right, so when you're looking at the Chargers last 3 games were against Cincinnati Bengals, Tennessee Titans, and the Cleveland Browns. They're on a 3-game win streak, or actual 4-game win streak, 4-game cover streak, and 2 overs in a row for the last 2 games, guys. All right, now head-to-head, Baltimore does run this 6-4 straight up. It's 5-5 against the spread, and 5 to the over, 5 to the under. And the last 10 times these teams have actually played out on the field against each other. All right. As far as some trends are concerned, the Baltimore Ravens have hit the second half money line in 11 of their last 15 games, whereas the Los Angeles Chargers have hit the third quarter game total under in 12 of their last 17 games. The Baltimore Ravens have scored last in 6 of their last 7 games, and the Los Angeles Chargers have hit the fourth quarter game total over in 11 of their last 17 games. The Baltimore Ravens have also hit the fourth quarter game total over in 13 of their last 19 games, and the Los Angeles Chargers have hit the fourth quarter money line in 3 of their last 9 home games. Baltimore Ravens have hit the second quarter money line in 12 of their last 19 games, and the Los Angeles Chargers have covered the first half spread in 11 of their last 20 games. All right, guys, so what's it looking like? Who's going to win? Who's going to do something? Well, the Ravens have lost 4 of their last 5 November games as road favorites against AFC opponents. The Chargers have won each of their last 4 games. The Chargers have covered the spread in each of their last 4 games. The Ravens have failed to cover the spread in 4 of their last 5 November games as road favorites against AFC opponents. The Chargers have won the first half in each of their last 6 games against AFC opponents, and the Chargers have won the first quarter in 5 of their last 6 games against teams that held a winning record. The Chargers also have scored the first touchdown in each of their last 8 games following a home win. The Ravens have won each of their last 15 games as favorites following a division loss. The Chargers have lost each of their last 9 games as underdogs, and the Ravens have covered the spread in each of their last 7 games as favorites following a division loss. The Chargers have failed to cover the spread in 8 of their last 9 games as underdogs, and the Ravens have won the first quarter in 4 of their last 5 Week 12 games. The Ravens also have scored the first touchdown in each of their last 10 games as favorites following a loss, and the Ravens have won the first half in each of their last 6 Monday road games, guys. Each of the Chargers' last 8 Monday games played on the West Coast have gone under the total points line, and 7 of the Ravens' last 8 road games in November have gone under the total points line, guys. All right, so Los Angeles comes into this matchup playing some of the best ball of the football season and best ball they played in a long time, as they have won 4 games in a row, and they will be at home for this game. The Chargers have one of the best defensive units in the NFL, and even though they did allow 27 points last week to the Bengals, they still played very well for the first 2.5 quarters. Baltimore lost 2 of their last 4 games and really struggled to generate points against the Steelers last week. The Ravens have one of the best offenses in the NFL, and I don't anticipate it to look as bad as it did last week. Their defense is awful, though, so I think there could be a high-scoring game here, even though the Chargers are going to try to eat up the clock and just keep running, which is the only thing that could tick this game to an under, is the fact that both of these teams are going to try to run the ball, okay, which is why right now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm leaning towards the under in this game. I understand there's points that's been scored for both of these teams as of late, but I'm leaning towards the under right now. Please check the comments, pinned comment, as far as which way I'm actually going to end up going. But I do like Baltimore I do like Baltimore in this game, guys. I like Baltimore money line. If I were going to play with the points, I would buy a couple points for the Chargers, buy them up to like 5 points or something, 4.5 points, maybe 3.5 points, and I think that'd be good to go. But please check the comments and you'll see my plays, man. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. I hope this information helps you, and I'm going to see you at the window, man. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.